Is Aya Wilson currently the best player in the WNBA? Yes. Is Caitlin Clark currently the face of the WNBA? Yes. Do I think if Aya Wilson dropped a shoe and Caitlin Clark dropped a shoe today at the very same time that Caitlin Clark would outsell Aya's shoe by 100 times? Yes, I think that would be the case, and I'm sorry to break that news to everybody, whether it's fair or not. That's just the truth. We saw Aya Wilson looking more frustrated than ever as new proof surfaces, showing Caitlin Clark's commercial dominance, making Wilson's MVP trophy look a little hollow. Going into the season, we will not see that again. She came off of playing in a national championship game that had over 20 million people tuned in, then went straight into the draft, straight into the WNBA, and broke an insane amount of records in her rookie season. What's the problem here? How has Nike's baffling marketing left both stars in awkward situations? Today, we'll break down the facts, the drama, and why the situation could change the way we think about the WNBA forever. If you've ever seen Caitlin Clark in action, you'll know she is a walking money machine. When it comes to merch, she's moving units like MJ at his peak. Her jerseys are practically evaporating off the shelves like cotton candy at an NBA All-Star weekend. Clark's name sits at the top of WNBA shirt sales. Fans of all ages are repping her like she's the next face of basketball, which, let's be honest, she already is. Aya Wilson, the reigning MVP and one of the most dominant players in league history, is sitting in 5th place. 5th. And guess who's ahead of her? Kate Martin, a player who spent more time on the bench this season than actually playing. It's true. Despite being a 3-time MVP, Aya's jersey sales are still lagging, even behind players who barely see the court. It's not just awful for Wilson, but for the league and Nike. How can you have a player like Wilson putting up MVP numbers and still get overshadowed in jersey sales? But back to Clark. She's putting up insane numbers and fans are eating it up. She has the swagger of a player who knows she's the future. Her highlights are TikTok gold, her plays are ESPN top 10 material, and her vibe screams, "I'm here to take over." Clark's stuff doesn't just sell, it sells out. Her demand is off the charts. Sport doesn't always equate to shoe sales. For example, in the NBA, Allen Iverson moved the needle in culture, fashion, and style despite not always being on top lists. Meanwhile, Wilson's merch is ready and collecting dust, not a knock on her, but on Nike and the WNBA's failure to recognize commercial gold. Wilson has the talent to be in conversations alongside LeBron and KD, but her marketing presence doesn't match Caitlin Clark's level. Clark, meanwhile, is on the verge of becoming the first WNBA player to achieve iconic marketing milestones. This isn't just a Caitlin Clark story, but about how one star gets the spotlight while another stays in the shadows. Wilson's MVP win this season was well-deserved. She's a beast on the court, putting up legendary stats, but her trophy feels overshadowed by Clark's business success. How can a league's MVP not be in the top 3 of jersey sales? How can her name feel so small compared to Clark's in news, social media, and shoe conversations? Wilson's prize is real, but it's starting to feel like a consolation in the eyes of fans. This imbalance is a problem the WNBA and its sponsors cannot afford to ignore. No wonder the league has pivoted to placing Caitlin Clark at the forefront of marketing for the new season. There's also the $16 million deal Caitlin Clark passed up with Under Armour, a massive what-if moment in basketball business history. Under Armour wanted to crown her as the Iron Lady of their women's line. Imagine Caitlin Clark dropping customized sneakers under the Curry Flow brand. The campaign practically writes itself. Clark in the Curry kitchen, cooking up threes like a Michelin star chef. Pair her with Steph Curry for a campaign redefining the game. If you like the video, then please subscribe to the channel and share this video. Basketball greatness, and boom, you've got a cultural moment that matches, like Mike with Jordan. And let's not forget the timeline. Under Armour wasn't playing around. They were ready to roll out the red carpet for Clark immediately. No waiting, no doubt. They knew her potential as the face of women's basketball and were prepared to make it happen. For years, $16 million and a whole lot of artistic freedom. That's the type of deal you only see in movies about sports prodigies. Compare that to Nike. Sure, an 8-year, $28 million deal sounds flashy, but what's the use if the company isn't capitalizing on her star power? Nike fumbled the bag harder than J.R. Smith in Game 1 of the 2018 NBA Finals. They're sitting on a gold mine, yet they've decided to wait until 2026 to give her a signature shoe. By then, Clark could have already been leading Under Armour into a new era of basketball power. Here's the kicker. Under Armour's method makes sense. Steph Curry isn't just their most recognizable athlete. He's their brand. His name is associated with innovation and success. By positioning Clark as the female counterpart, they would have built a dynasty-like appeal. Think about it. Two players redefining the game for their different leagues, all under one brand. That's not just a win. It's a slam dunk with a backboard-shattering celebration. Under Armour's pitch wasn't just about money. It was about heritage. They saw her as the bridge between today's game and the future. It's not hard to imagine Clark sneakers flying off shelves, ruling the youth market, and even challenging Nike's grip on basketball culture. The possible crossover appeal was massive. And let's talk numbers. Nike's hesitation to release a special shoe for Clark is tied to their fear of upsetting Aya Wilson's camp. But let's be real, Caitlin Clark's commercial pull is obvious. She's outselling everyone, breaking viewership records, and generating hype like a one-woman sports movement. If Under Armour had taken the lead, they wouldn't have blinked at Wilson's accolades. They would have run with Clark's momentum like Usain Bolt chasing a world record. Think about it this way. Nike's deal is like offering Clark a first-class ticket, but making her sit in the lounge for 3 years before boarding. Under Armour's deal, on the other hand, was like giving her the private jet keys and saying, take off whenever you're ready. Under Armour also had the right societal timing. With women's sports getting unprecedented attention, Clark could have been the catalyst for their next big marketing wave. Her style of play, a mix of deep threes, flashy plays, and pure swagger, is tailor-made for viral moments. Add in her similarity to Curry's game, and you've got a story that resonates with fans of all ages and genders. Hindsight is 20/20, but Under Armour clearly saw the vision. They knew the value of moving quickly in the world of sports endorsements. If Clark had taken that deal, we might be talking about her as the new face of basketball fashion, battling with Curry for the top-selling sneaker spot across all genders. Nike, on the other hand, seems stuck in their old ways, playing it safe at a time when big moves are needed. Their hesitation to fully accept Clark isn't just a missed opportunity. It's a glaring example of how not to handle a generational talent. So, did Caitlin Clark miss out by picking Nike over Under Armour? Maybe. But one thing's for sure. If she had gone with UA, she wouldn't be waiting around for 2026 to see her name on a shoe. She'd already be running the game, one sneaker drop at a time. The numbers don't lie. Clark is the face of the WNBA, not just in the US, but abroad. Her playstyle, limitless range, high IQ passes, and pure swagger have fans hooked. She's the kind of player who makes casual fans stop and watch, and that's important for a league trying to grow its audience. Wilson, as great as she is, doesn't have that same powerful draw. Her dominance is undeniable, but it doesn't translate into the kind of buzz that Clark causes. Fans draw towards stars who make the game look fun, new, and exciting. Right now, Clark's doing that better than anyone else. This isn't just a Nike problem, it's a WNBA problem. The league should be celebrating both Wilson and Clark as its top stars. Instead, they're stuck in a business limbo that's hurting both sides. Imagine if the WNBA accepted Clark's fame fully, giving her the campaigns, the commercials, and yes, the signature shoe she deserves. Would Wilson feel overshadowed? Maybe. But isn't that better than having both stars lose out? The WNBA needs to think bigger because right now, they're letting a great chance slip through their fingers. To understand the risks, let's look at the NBA. Think of LeBron James when he joined the league. Nike gave him a signature shoe quickly because they knew his star power would elevate the entire sport. Or Steph Curry with Under Armour. He didn't need MVP awards to sell shoes. His popularity was enough to build a billion-dollar business. Caitlin Clark is in that same tier of marketability. Waiting until 2026 to give her a signature shoe is like waiting until after Curry's third championship to start selling his kicks. It's a lost chance. Meanwhile, Wilson deserves better too. Why hasn't Nike spent more on making her the Shaq to Clark's Kobe? Fans are noticing the difference, and they're not happy. How is Clark not MVP when she's truly carrying the league? Nike's making Aya look petty. By keeping Clark back, the WNBA doesn't need this kind of drama. The league is already fighting for attention in a crowded sports market. The last thing it needs is for its fans to feel like their favorite players are being pushed against each other because of bad marketing choices. So what happens now? Nike has to act fast. They need to give Wilson the respect she's earned while also recognizing Clark's once-in-a-generation appeal. This isn't just a Nike problem. For the WNBA, the way is clear. Invest in your stars. Don't let business politics get in the way of growth. Clark is the entrance to a new group of fans. You snooze, you lose. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. Stay tuned, subscribe the channel.